Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to Rule of Two. Here with Marc. Once again, we're chilling. Hope everyone's
Yo,
doing
what
well,
up? Yo, what
especially in
up?
this
What up?
time.
What up?
Today we got some interesting stuff to talk about. What's going on, Marc?
Chilling, man,
Chilling,
chilling.
man, chilling.
Playing lots of COD. Um, you know, doing work from
Yeah,
home. Hoping that this is gonna end soon, and pretty stoked that I finally got a really great episode
of the Clone
of
Wars.
Clone
I
Wars.
know.
So I'm chilling.
I'm really excited for it. What was your favorite part? I hope everyone has seen it. If you haven't seen it, you might want to turn away if you don't want to be spoiled. But we're assuming you all are diehard nerds and you've seen it. So, what was one of your favorite parts?
Um, so I've watched it a few times, and my least favorite part is when they make Obi-Wan Kenobi seem like a little bit of a simp. When like I don't understand why everybody's ragging on Obi-Wan Kenobi for loving Satine so much. Like that's his
Yeah, they were
girl.
they were they
That
were
was
coming
his.
down pretty hard on him. That's for sure.
They were coming pretty hard
Yeah,
on him,
yeah,
dude. And like I was like, why are you guys giving him such a hard time? And like even to the sister, Bo-Katan, who's a badass
yeah.
character, everybody's like, you're nothing like your sister. Like the sister was so
I
bad.
know.
I didn't think that I didn't think the sister was
No,
that
she was
bad.
just like she was like Padme, you know. She was just a politician, basically. She was doing the best for her people.
Yeah, so that was my least favorite part was Sim Kenobi. But
I'm gonna change my Warzone
but
name to Simp Kenobi now. That's gonna be it.
so,
That's gonna be it.
that's
Yeah,
perfect. Sim
Simp Kenobi,
Kenobi.
dude.
Um God, but look, man, I love that episode, dude.
That
I
was
loved
amazing.
it.
So let's jump right into what's going on here. So we got Gianni Aliotti, and I hope I'm saying that right. From Lucasfilm, he is the he supervises Star Wars: The Clone Wars lighting and VFX at Lucasfilm Animation, and is an amateur photographer, chef, and Bay Area sports fan. And he's on Instagram as Gianni_photo. So he tweeted something, and a lot of fans who have caught wind of it, especially me and Marc, have been going pretty nuts over it. He said, "Glad to see so much love for you."
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get it on the screen here.
yeah.
Glad to see,
We
yeah,
tried to get a quote. I sent my guys to get a
in
quote.
the
Couldn't
thumbnail.
get
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got right here. Glad to see so much love for our work on the Clone Wars again. Keep the love, keep loving them, and we'll keep making more. Smiley face. And fear not, we at Lucasfilm Animation are still going strong even during COVID-19. And so you click on it, and like all of them are just like, wait, what? What's going on here? How is this? What do you
Yeah.
mean more Clone Wars episodes? And my take on this is that we're not going to be getting more Clone Wars. I mean, we could. There's some unfinished arcs, but I think rather we might be getting another show that's going to be coming after Rebels.
I look, see, I took it a little differently. Okay, so two things. So my favorite part of that episode is how far Ahsoka has
Right.
become, and how the Clone Wars has really been this massive, epic storyline of the growth of Ahsoka
Right.
Tano, and very dissimilar from Ray,
Right.
right? And like buying the aimbot for 10.99 a
Right.
month.
Right.
Ahsoka has really earned
Yeah.
it. I mean, she's been through incredible training, and there was this moment where Anakin and Ahsoka are in the clones with all the Ahsoka
Yeah.
face,
Yeah. It's
like
cool.
with
That
all
was
that
nice.
stuff on, and like you get the feeling between Anakin and Ahsoka that there's a real master apprentice thing there. It's almost like the best master apprentice relationship we've seen in Star Wars since like a Qui Gon and
Yeah.
Obi Wan. And to me, having Ahsoka like when all the paratroopers are jumping and like the Mandalorians are jumping out of the back of the
Yeah.
hovercrafts, and she's like Ahsoka, do you need a jetpack?
And she's
She's
like,
like, I don't need
no.
no
And she
jetpack,
just decimates everyone. Goes in. And
dude.
I love the part when she saved the clone, as he was going in, and remember he was crashing, and she like pops open his canopy, Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome, dude. It's like you and me, 2 in the morning, jumping into like the
Plunder.
quarry, you
Yeah.
know?
That's what that was. Just coming in. She's
You know,
badass,
and
dude.
it was so bad. It was so badass, man. And like to me, it was really like, like there's these memes that I've seen. Ahsoka's
Yeah.
overpowered.
What?
Ahsoka has earned it. She's earned it, man. She's been under intense training for a very long amount of time that we can clearly see.
Yeah.
So to me, the Siege of Mandalore, and like what I loved about this episode was that um the opening was like the classic Lucasfilm
Yeah, it was cool.
opening. Lucasfilm
Yeah.
Limited, like the
Yeah.
classic one. Um, and at the end, created by George
Yeah.
Lucas. The number one title you get on
Yeah.
there. So whether he's involved in this or
Oh, the
not,
man's involved.
that
The
this
man's behind it. You know that for sure.
that this is his
Yeah.
story, and it's really fulfilling, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. You got me a little hyped when you told me um that the episode's going to be 40 plus
Yeah.
minutes. It turned out it's only
This one
29
is
minutes.
29, but the next one might be longer.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. Is it 4 episodes
We got 3
of
left
Siege of
now.
Mandalore?
So we got 10, 11, 12.
So the Siege of Mandalore on its own is
Is
four
4 episodes.
episodes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look, I love the Clone Wars, but like you and I talked about it offline, I would have been pretty stoked with this being episode one.
I feel like
You
it
know,
could have.
like
I mean, I'm all for these other episodes and arcs and stuff, and the Rafa and Trace arc really. I don't think it was for Rafa and Trace. I think it was to show Ahsoka's journey and her confusion with the Jedi Order and who she is, and that she belongs in the Force. That she needs to really use this ability and gift that she has for good and use it for what she stands for and not just for what the Jedi stand for. I think that's what that brought out, even though it was a little bit slow. And those two characters, I found them very annoying. But
yeah, the sisters.
yeah, the sisters were really annoying. But it helped. It was for a better cause. It helped Ahsoka's story come out, I feel like, and through that, we now get to see her really kick butt as we're going to be going into the Siege of Mandalore. So I'm looking forward to it. Regarding what was his name, Gianni's quote. Do you think we're going to be getting more
Yeah,
Clone
yeah.
Wars? Because there's still a lot of arcs that we haven't seen.
I
Son of
think that what
Dathomir, you know.
look, what I'm hoping for is that we're gonna get um Lucas era
Yeah.
content. Okay, that we're not gonna get the latest one they did was what not Rebels,
Oh,
the X
Resistance. Right.
Resistance. I mean, but I think Resistance was aimed at a much younger audience.
I couldn't
You
even
know,
watch it because it wasn't in Canada. It wasn't in Canada. It wasn't, and I
oh,
don't have cable.
it wasn't in
No, now
Canada.
it's on Disney Plus and all that, so I can watch it. But yeah, I've never even
Have
seen an episode.
So I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay,
I've tried to watch it and I just can't get
okay,
into it. And I think that that's also Dave Filoni and like that whole
right.
crew. And it's cool and everything. It's just not for
Yeah,
me. And I think it's because it's aimed at a
yeah.
younger
It didn't
audience.
interest me either.
We're
I mean, I'm not interested in the characters, and yeah, I don't know. That's why I didn't really hunt it down. But
where Clone Wars is some of the most emotional Star Wars that I've ever seen. I mean, and it's also some of the most um, consequential.
it is.
Which means to me that there's
Yeah,
death. There's actual
yeah,
loss. And oh man, like dude, the one scene that Anakin Skywalker says and brought like literally got it like a tear in my eye was when he's talking about the clones and he's like the clones, because she keeps saying don't call me
yeah,
commander, don't call me
yeah,
commander, and like she's like Anakin's like it doesn't matter
yeah,
to them, to them you are the
yeah,
commander because loyalty, they have loyalty and bravery, they value loyalty and
yeah,
bravery above
yeah,
all, so it really humanized the relationship between Anakin and the
yeah,
clones as like a really special bond, man. Like fucking excuse me, sorry. Like it's just Clone Wars,
yeah,
like it's the clones are are have
yeah.
souls,
They do.
and like Anakin Skywalker makes it a point to respect the clones,
Yeah.
and like to
They're
me
not
that's a
just
very
expendable.
heroic. Right, they're not just
No.
expendable, and which is funny because in the sequels they went back to non-clones,
Right.
right? um and those seem completely
Well,
soulless,
yeah,
like there's no.
Palpatine apparently just wanted that because of the numbers. He wanted the sheer size of the grand army of the Empire to just be numbers. So that's why he just
Right.
converted. He's just like, screw it, I'll just enlist people.
Yeah. So anyway, man, I thought it was a really good episode, dude. So to answer your question, I think that what he's hinting at is that we're going to get more Clone Wars type things. So whether it's it's depending on what character it is, it's going to be characters that are inside the pre-Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
timeline.
I think that's the
You
best
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
stuff. Yeah, I've been saying it for a long time. I feel like we should get a movie out of that. Like a live action movie, just return, Hayden and Ewan, and they can reprise their roles, and we can get some of these Clone War arcs, but in live action. I think that would be neat.
Yeah, and like I liked the first few episodes, like the Bad Batch
Yeah, it was
storyline.
fun.
I liked a lot more, than the sister storyline. Um, but those little two storylines seem like filler, where this last episode felt like, wow, this is the coolest Star Wars I've seen in
Yeah,
years.
yeah. This was the coolest Clone Wars episode. I think I could say ever.
I don't know about ever. There's some
There
great
are great episodes,
episodes.
but like
There's some.
this one felt, I don't know, like it's animated, but it felt real. Like it felt like every
Yeah,
time now
yeah,
that I
yeah.
watch Revenge of the Sith, I'm gonna be thinking of this episode. I'm like, what's going on during this time? And then we're gonna be able to see that congruency between each episode in Clone Wars and the Siege of Mandalore and in Episode 3, and we're gonna know exactly what's going on at this time. Be like, oh yeah, over there on Mandalore, while I don't know, Order 66 is taking place, Ahsoka just ran away from Maul or defeated Maul or whatever, and that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, what one thing that I kept thinking about was um how much did George Lucas predict Maul's involvement in all of
I don't
this
think he
stuff?
predicted any of it.
Any of it,
No, I don't
right?
think so. I think Maul was just so popular that they're like, all right. And I think that's something Sam Witwer said, didn't he? That like this character was brought back by the fans.
I don't
Dude, I
know.
mean,
I don't
okay,
know.
look, Maul
It's
has
like
had like no lines pretty much in the movies, and he's had maybe what like 5 or 10 minutes of screen time at most, and he is one of the most popular characters out there. So
yeah,
Ray Park did an
in
amazing
all of
job. Yeah,
Star Wars.
Ray Park killed it, man. He did an amazing job portraying this character. So I feel like really the fans just wanted him back because he's so cool and unknown. And I think that's the allure of it, is that he's so unknown. Like, who is this guy? He's so different from Count Dooku or Grievous or whatever. He's just like this menacing, pure. He's like the definition of hating a Jedi. He's the definition of a
Right.
Sith. And I feel like almost feel like Palpatine and all these other guys, like they're Sith. They're more powerful and talented, but um, they're not the true Sith. I feel like, and because like Palpatine's all about like politics and ruling and this and that, but Maul just like wants to kill the Jedi. Like that's all he lives for. And I think
Maul's a
he's a
fighter.
fighter. Like there was something I read something a long time ago. It's like he wants to get up close and personal, and he doesn't use the Force on you because he wants to get up close and personal and kill you with his blade, so he can see the light leaving your eyes. Because he's that insane. Like
Right.
he's just bloodthirsty for Jedi blood.
Yeah, and to that point, an awesome way to end the episode when he tells Ahsoka, he's like, "What are you doing
Yeah,
here?"
yeah.
Like all of this
Where's
manipulation, all
Kenobi?
of this. Yeah, dude. Where is Simp Kenobi?
Yeah,
You know, it's like he killed his
yeah,
girl. He murdered his
yeah.
girl. Like, uh, so
Well,
I can't
Kenobi's
wait, man. I can't
destroyed
wait to
his
see what
life,
happens.
and Maul's returning the favor.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it's really cool, really exciting. Um, it made me really think, man. It was Star Wars that made me think again.
I think
And like Clone Wars is not for kids. Like
I don't
I
think so.
there's more murder. there's more murder in Clone Wars than in almost any
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah. But I mean, death is a part of life, and children should know that.
Right,
Grieve them
right.
do not.
Do you think Clone Wars is made for kids?
I think anything can be made for anybody, man. Just depends how you look at it. Obviously to an extent. I think Clone Wars is. I mean, I know George says Star Wars is made for children, but I mean, then he's got like Anakin beheading Dooku and like him getting burned alive and stuff. I mean, it's come
It's a
on,
good point. It's
like
a good point. Because George
he
does say
says
it's
it
all
all the
for
time, yeah,
kids.
but it's like really, George? Like, I mean, Dooku's head is literally like bouncing off the ground and like smoking, like, and his hands get chopped off. Like, how is this? How is it really for kids? Maybe the original trilogy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think I read somewhere is like he doesn't make much money from the movies, but he makes it from the merchandise and from the
Yeah.
toys.
The comments are
You
cracking
know, the
me up.
comments.
Somebody somebody said that my Call of Duty name should be Simp Fisto.
That might be mine, dude. We gotta change our names. Mine's gonna be like Simp. I don't know. Simp
Simp
Kenobi, Simp
Kenobi.
Kylo. Uh, something. It's
Oh,
gonna be
that's
epic. Could
funny.
you imagine like just
I
like
love
killing people with that name? Oh my god, that'd
I
be
love it.
epic.
I love the commenters. It's good to see all you
We love you
commenters
guys.
out
We're happy
there.
you're here. Thanks for joining us for another Rule of Two. Let's read some super chats. Big fan of the channel. Love your theories. Made me get more into Legends comics. And you think Disney will mess up the Clone Wars? I don't think Disney has control over the Clone Wars all that much, really. I think it's in Dave Filoni's hands. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they're letting I think that they're kind of giving a little bit of latitude to the Clone
I hope
Wars.
so.
A, because all the scripts were written. I mean, like
Well,
supposedly all this
that
stuff
never
was
stopped
written.
them before.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I
Yeah.
forget what I said.
Yeah, we got
Something.
we got more. Zahn, Mr. Memes, Ahsoka has earned being a badass. Rey never did. It's true. Enrique Robles
Yeah.
says the description for episode 11 talks about Order 66. That's tight. So I guess episode
What?
11 and episode 12 are going to go into Order 66. Yeah, let me check this. Clone Wars season 7.
Well, can you imagine if it bleeds into Revenge
It
of the Sith?
it,
Dude,
it
are you
will.
crazy? Is that going to
Well, yeah, we
happen?
already talked about this, remember?
No, but do you think that we'll see Darth? Oh my God, I just got
Dude,
chills,
yeah, didn't you
bro.
see in the trailer where did you not watch my videos? Mace Windu is like talking. They animate the same scene from Revenge of the Sith. Right before Palpatine reveals that he's the Sith Lord, they're all sitting around the hollow deck or whatever Star Trek. They're sitting around on the hollow thing, and they're talking to each other. And Mace is like, what does he say? Like, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi or something like that. And that's what actually happened. That's the same scene from Revenge of the Sith. So obviously we're going into episode 3.
Hold on, but do you think that they will show Anakin
Yeah,
Skywalker as
yeah,
Darth Vader?
yeah.
I don't buy
I think
that,
so.
dude.
I think so. I think so.
Wow.
And I think so also because I don't know, but I think Ashley, when we had our podcast with her, like said something that kind of insinuated that to me. She's like, Ahsoka will never believe. She's like, we see it even in this season or whatever. Ahsoka never believes that this is what actually happens. She said something like that, or maybe I misheard it. I don't know, but it just makes me believe
Wow.
that we might actually go into episode 3 like Order 66 style, things that we've never seen before.
I thought that the next 4 episodes are just going to be all about the siege of Mandalore, and then it would end, to your point, with Ahsoka giving the dark saber to somebody that somehow ties
That'd be
into
very cool. Yeah, her
Mandalorian.
giving the dark saber to Bo, and then I don't know, Death Watch just
And
goes and
then
saves a bunch of people from the Clone Wars because Clone Wars is ending, and then they bring some foundlings back with them, and one of them is Pedro Pascal, is the Mandalorian. I think that would be really cool.
do, do you think that they're going to try to connect any characters from Clone Wars to Mando?
Yeah, yeah, like
Which ones?
well, the foundling Mando. I think Mando's going to be in episode 12, maybe.
You think Mando's going to
Yeah, as a
maybe?
little boy. You remember when he got saved?
I think Moff Gideon is going to be teased. Maybe no. Because how the hell does Moff Gideon end up with the dark saber? To me. That's one of the biggest like new riddles of Star Wars. How does Moff Gideon end up with the dark saber?
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, like that's a big
Yeah,
deal, dude.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Because before him, as far as we know, the succession of the dark saber, right, is um the character in Rebels. I forget her name right now.
Yep,
Sabine, right? No, what's her
Sabine Wren.
name? Is it Sabine?
Yeah.
Sabine Wren,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is it Ren, like
No,
Kylo Ren? Is that her last name's also?
WREN.
Oh,
Yeah,
WREN. So she
yeah.
got it from who?
I don't know. Maul. I didn't really watch Rebels. I only watched a few.
You didn't really
No, I
watch.
only watched a few episodes of them. The episodes that I really liked, like The World Between Worlds. Well, again, I didn't have cable. I didn't have access to it, and then now I just haven't been watching it on Disney Plus because I don't know.
Yeah, so there's some pretty good storylines in Rebels with
Yeah,
Maul. Actually, some of the Maul stuff
that's
I
really
think
the
is
only
great.
reason I'd feel like watching it. Maul and Ahsoka's in only like 3 or 4 of them, right? And the clones. Otherwise, I don't know. I know Kanan's got a cool story with the Bendu, and I know he's interesting and all that. I it just never attracted me to like really set time aside and watch it, but I should.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. But anyway, to me when Moff Gideon shows up with the dark saber and cuts through the Tie Fighter at the end of Mando in the finale, I mean, I thought that was epic, you know. And in Colin Trevorrow's
People are saying she
script,
got
The
it from
Duel of the Fates,
Maul. Please watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I gotta set time for it.
because Maul has it. Maul
Well,
ends up
Maul
with it.
has it, yeah, and then he was showing it to Ezra, and it was
Right,
just like
right.
sitting in his hut or whatever it was, that little cave.
Yeah. So, God, what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought there. But, um, yeah, when I saw Moff Gideon with it, oh yeah, in Colin Trevorrow's script, one of the Knights of Ren, I forget his name right now. He's one of the Knights of Ren that actually has dialogue in the Duel of the Fates. He also has the dark saber. So the dark saber is something that's obviously inside the story
Yeah,
group been discussed quite
yeah.
heavily. You know what I mean? So it would be cool for them to give us a little breadcrumb about where the dark saber
Well, we know Moff
goes
Gideon
from
is very
Clone
high
Wars
up
to
in
the
the
next thing.
Empire, so I'm thinking,
Yeah,
how does he get there? You know, is he starting out like Tarkin, who was with the Republic and in the Clone Wars, and then goes into the he could be like that.
Tarkin was in this last episode.
No, that was Yularen.
Yularen, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I
Fair
mean,
enough.
Tarkin turned out to be a Moff, and then there's Moff Gideon. So yeah, maybe he's in this. Maybe he's in like episode 12 or episode 11.
Yeah,
Who knows? Watch
fair
Rebels.
enough.
Okay, I'll watch it. Yeah, Sabine got it from Maul and eventually gave it to Bo-Katan. Right. What? That doesn't make sense. Maul didn't give it to Bo. It's also possible that Maul loses
Nice.
it and recovers it again. Dude, I love this, man. We started a thing. Everyone's like, Rogue Simp, Phantom Simp, Revenge of the
Revenge
Simp.
of the Simp.
Yeah,
Rogue, yeah. The Simp
Bo had it
Lords.
last in Rebels. Star Wars 3 would be an excellent part of this Lucasfilm story group. I don't know about that.
The Rise of Simp Walker.
A new simp.
uh,
Oh, we've started a new thing, haven't we? Oh.
no, but they really did make Obi-Wan look like a simp in
Yeah,
this episode, man. Like,
yeah,
poor guy.
they made him all like dumbed down and stuff. It's just like he's a simp. It's like he's a white knight, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and like there's this one thing. It's actually really cool, but Anakin tells him at the beginning, he's like, "Hey, Master, do you want me to go out there fight and win this thing, or do you want me to hide with you so we
Yeah,
can
what was
lose?"
up with that?
You
He's
know?
like getting very
Yeah, he's like,
cocky.
yeah, he's like trying
Yeah,
him.
he's pushing him. They've been pushing.
Yeah,
They've been
it's like
this whole Clone Wars. They've been pushing each other though, right? Remember, like Obi-Wan's like, "Tell Padme I say hello," and Anakin just like looks at him. He's like, You're gonna."
Oh, first of all, that's a really good point, dude.
What?
See, this is why Clone Wars is so clever. You're right. They are creating more
Yeah.
tension between Obi-Wan and
Yeah.
Anakin. Because like in Revenge of the Sith, they're really good friends up front, but you do feel a little bit of that tension,
Oh,
like, oh, I've
100%.
I've let you down, Master. I've let you
Yeah.
down, Master.
100%.
Now you're
Well,
a
and
much
remember when
wiser
they started
Jedi than I'll
talking
ever.
about Satine? Anakin is like looking at Obi-Wan and he's like, what? It's like, you had relations? Even though they've talked about it in the Clone Wars, but it just felt like he was like really like, all right. So they're creating this
Yeah,
division, and like Obi-Wan's like, we have to go save the Chancellor, blah blah blah, and then Anakin, you can tell Anakin wants to go save Maul, but he's like, all right, we'll go.
right. And he's always yeah, dude. Like
Just yo,
it's
just imagine
it's
if Revenge of the Sith had Anakin fighting Maul. That'd
uh,
be so cool.
we would have gotten fighting Maul, fighting Grievous.
Yeah,
Grievous, you're shorter than I
yeah.
expected.
And because of that one line, we'll never see Anakin fight Grievous in the Clone Wars ever, which
Right,
sucks.
right.
But I mean,
Grievous, you're more of a simp than I expected.
yeah.
Count
Count
simp.
simp.
It
Everyone,
works for
everyone in the chat is like simp rebels, simp wars theory, Count Simp, the tragedy of Darth Simp, Miss JJ the simp,
So look, for the people in the
simp
chat, we've
wars,
been playing a lot of Call of
tons.
Duty
I linked the
during
gaming channel below, so all of you right now, there's 2,100 of you. I should see 2,100 likes. Come on, you're right there. Just seriously, bro, you're watching, you're enjoying with us. Click like, help us out, and then go sub to the gaming channel because that's a lot of fun on there. We have too much fun.
Qui-Gon simp.
Qui-Gon. That's gonna do. That's gonna be it. Simp Qui-Gon. Simp Jin.
Simp Jin.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, Moff
Moff
Simpian.
Simpian.
It, it really works for everybody. It really works for everybody.
A
But
Simpa.
look, man, this like people were giving us a little bit of crap last week that we're talking about Last Jedi and blah blah blah.
Oh right. Right.
Um, and that's because we don't get a lot of ton of new
Yeah.
stuff. But this Friday, it really felt like we got some
Well,
new Star
people will always be
Wars
talking crap.
that we can really
So,
sink our teeth into.
yeah. I know. I'm stoked. I've got 2 new animations coming out for all you guys. One on May 4th, which is already done. I've teased it on my Instagram, and I'll be doing more giveaways as well. So instead of lightsaber giveaways, I know it's a tough time for everybody, so I'm gonna be giving away like $500 in different videos and stuff like that. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, man. And like, look, if you guys want to keep the discussion going, like I said, hit us up on Twitter. I'm Marc Fernandez. Obviously,
Yeah.
SW Theory 66. And like, try to tune into one of these streams, but don't give away our
Yeah.
position.
Yeah. Someone came, some
Like,
troll came in the other day, and he was just like, "Yeah, that's why he was just sniping the out of me, and man, it was just terrible." And he was actually watching the stream and joined the game somehow. But do you know if Luke saw his grandmother's tombstone on Tatooine when he was raised by his uncle Owen and his aunt Beru? Oh, interesting.
his grandmother's
Shmi.
tombstone. That's right. Yeah, because she was
Yeah.
buried at the
Yeah.
moisture farm. That's a really good question, man. Oh, some other fan, a listener, partner of the show, had a really good point. Um, on Twitter, they said that how do you feel about Anakin giving Ahsoka Tano her lightsabers back fixed, but with blue crystals? And I thought that was actually a really good point. Like why, like the whole legend of the kyber crystal and and like the lightsaber crystal and the what's it called, um the
Creating her
you know
lightsaber?
the
What was the
ritual
ritual?
the
Okay.
ritual of building a crystal has been changed in canon
Yeah.
so many times. Like it used to be something that was so mysterious and only the Jedi could create his own crystal and all this stuff. So it is a good question. Why does Anakin give her sabers with crystals that he found? And what does that actually mean? Does it mean anything, or is it just like, who cares? Here are some blue
I don't
sabers.
really think it means anything. I think it's just he fixed them and they're like hers now, and so that when she uses them, we can kind of see maybe a little bit of Anakin or something like that. Maybe he created those crystals, or you know, blue signifies guardian, at least in legends. So um,
Right, but we know that there's no blue crystals when we see her again
right,
in
they're white.
Rebels.
Well, she took
That they're
those
white.
Inquisitor crystals. That's why, and she purified them from red to white.
So something's gonna happen to these blue crystals then.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
like
they're
the blue
cool.
crystal. Like when I play Star Wars Galaxies, I either played with red
Yeah,
or with blue. Like it's pretty much
yeah.
the only two
No, that's a
colors
good
I ever
point.
played with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Something's gonna happen to these sabers. Maybe I mean she's
Because they are
yeah,
her
she's probably going to
sabers.
keep the hilts, but something's going to happen to the crystal. Who knows what? Or maybe the whole hilt and stuff goes
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool.
Or maybe look, or maybe it's nothing. And like we
We
think
think
about
about
it
a
too
lot of stuff
much,
too much,
and
but
it's just
that's why we're who we are. Um, also,
yeah, fair enough.
Gianni says, well, it's Monday, 5 days until the best. He tweeted this 5 hours ago. 5 days until the best Clone Wars episode you've ever seen. Feel free to hold me to that.
Which
So
one?
he
Say it again.
says 5 days until the best Clone Wars episode you've ever seen.
What, the
Yeah,
one that's coming up? You
that's what he
think?
says.
I don't know. There's some great. First of all, there's some great Clone Wars episodes. There's some really good Clone Wars episodes. This one was great. This was the best looking one I've ever seen.
Oh
That's
yeah, it
for
was
damn
beautiful.
sure. It it looked like
Oh,
a
it was
friggin'
great.
movie, man.
It was really nice.
I
It
mean,
felt like a movie.
I I was looking at it and I was like, I'm so upset that the sequels didn't look and feel like this. Like this is what I want. This is Star Wars, man. And like all those
It's
cool
weird.
ships.
It's
Like
weird, hey?
one of the one of the things that I loved about I love about Star Wars is that when you watch it, you're like, I need
Yeah,
that toy. I
yeah,
need that.
yeah.
I need that. With all the sequels, it was stuff that we already saw, with very
But you
few
also have to
exceptions.
understand that the sequels is everything fresh, and as I have my problems with the sequels too. But at least with Episode 8. But the prequel stuff in Clone Wars is things that we have already spent, a good part of our lives loving and appreciating and growing up with. The sequels is totally new, and I feel like it's so fresh that I don't know. There's no nostalgia there. There's no, we look at Anakin and Obi-Wan like, boom, we're right into the story. We know who these characters are, what they're all about, where they've been, and where they're gonna go. But with the sequels, it's like we don't have direction. We don't know where it's gonna go really because we're unsure.
And they never
They
established it
didn't.
either. I mean,
No,
it's
they
not like
they didn't,
you
and
know,
that's their fault. But it's also our fault partially to make sure that we stay neutral when we're watching these movies until we actually see them. And now that the picture's out, all of them are out, we know what it's all about, and we, can make up our own mind. But going into it, I feel like there was so much hatred and anger, especially after episode 8. And no one disliked episode 8 really more than I did. And, ranting about it and raving about it on social media doesn't mean that you hate something more. It just means that either
right,
you're
right,
annoying or
right.
you're just outspoken, or this is how you can deal with whatever your own anger for something. But I felt so disrespected. I felt like Ryan Johnson should really face his crimes for destroying a character that was built up to be so many people's heroes as a child. And
Well,
yeah,
you want him to
I want him to
stand
stand. Yeah,
trial.
I really for a while there I was like, this is not like there should be a crime punishable for this because this is a character that so many people who aren't strong-minded, aren't strong-willed, look up to this character who is this hero to them, and in times of doubt or failure or darkness, they look at Luke and they're like, what would Luke do? And now they'll look at him and be like, he's a loser. He just went away to an island and just gave up only to come back, after all that, after he's dead, and say, oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Like, I should have faced my fears, blah, blah, blah. and like it's all in the name of like, oh, like, for hope or what. It's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's why
Yeah.
it really
But
affected me so much. That's my
yeah.
character. Luke was my guy, just like it is for so many other people. So
Yeah.
I feel like even though that had such a toll on me, I was able to go into 9 and still really love it at the very end because it was cool. Like, even though we got what we got, it was still fun. It was a good movie and I enjoyed it. But I just feel like so many people had
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
immense hatred of the sequels going into it because it's just like, Disney this, Disney that, it's bullshit. It's like, yeah, all right, you know, I'm down with that. Believe me, like Disney, if anyone's gonna say anything about Disney, could be me. But I just feel like we ought to keep an open mind. And going back to what you said, the prequel stuff will always, you could make pretty much anything with the prequels with those characters and it'll be good and people will love it pretty much. I mean, unless you like completely change the characters around, which wouldn't make sense. But we have grown up with these characters and we've loved them for so long that we feel like it just, anything you make with them, it's gonna be great because we have this preconceived notion.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think where I'm going with it more. First of all, I agree with everything you're saying, but my point is really more targeted towards the the toys, the spaceships. Um, like in last night's episode, I saw three new spaceships in that show
Yeah.
that I want. That I'm like, wow, I've never seen that spaceship before.
Well,
That's
that's because the
awesome looking.
sequels felt
You
like
know,
it was
like
made by someone who doesn't really know Star Wars and just thinks they know Star Wars, as like a space thing.
right, right. We're like these prequels are keeping up with that spirit of Star Wars, which is like always pushing the world
Yeah.
further
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
episode, and like there's this one scene where all these ships are going into whatever planet they're sieging, Mandalore or whatever, and there's like a ship that has like this thing that's like
Yeah.
circulating around it, and I'm just like, wow, dude,
That's
this is
sick.
awesome, man. Like this is the Star Wars. Like one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars is the opening to
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. Um, the thing I love about it so much is that it's just like everywhere you look, you're like, I want that, I want that, I want
Yeah.
that, I need that, I need that, I want
Yeah.
that, I want that. It's like
Yeah.
going shopping. It's like Star Wars used to be like
Yeah.
going shopping,
Yeah.
like for toys. And now you look at it and it's like, oh, a TIE fighter with a red
Yep.
slash across it. C3PO
Yeah.
with a red arm. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want
I
that,
know what you mean.
you know?
The creativity
So
is low.
anyway,
Yeah. I don't know.
that's my sequel rant for the day. I promised I wouldn't talk crap about the
Well,
sequels today,
look,
but
this is the thing, is like we can't be hushed. We can't shut our mouths just because, the minority or the majority are going to call us haters or lovers or whatever. I every day I get called either a shill or I get called a Disney hater, and it's like, make up your minds. Which one am I? Maybe I'm just a dude who likes Star
right,
Wars and doesn't like certain facets of like that's okay. And that's fine.
yeah,
So when it comes to the sequels, yeah, like I'm not a fan. I think they really dropped the ball, and I don't think it really made sense at all. And I'm not saying that as a critique person because I'm not. I'm just saying that as a fan of Star Wars.
yeah. Palpatine, a simpy.
We've created a new generation here.
Oh, that's funny.
Training line goes as
Yeah.
Yoda, Dooku, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka Tano. Of course, Ahsoka would become amazing. Yes, you're right, John. Do you think Vader will be shown in the Clone Wars after the Mandalorian arc? That would be awesome. Also, the outcome effect of Order 66 on the clones and Rex. Yeah, that's interesting. How do you think Rex doesn't execute Order 66?
Well, I think that, and like I'm not sure they're going to show this, but they know that there's something wrong with the
Right.
clones. There was that one
Yeah.
clone
5.
that Echo, oh five, that had that kind of uncovered this conspiracy, and I thought at the with the Bad Batch that they were going to start getting into that more, and somehow Cody and Rex, because Cody doesn't
No,
make it
man.
through,
Yeah, he
right?
turns
Only
evil.
Rex does. Cody
Yeah.
does turn evil, right? Yeah. So somehow Rex,
Cody
discovers
shoots
this
down
and like,
Obi-Wan, who's on the Varactyl.
Right, but it's possible that he wakes up. You know what I mean? But we never see Cody in Rebels,
No,
though, right?
I think he actually makes it through to like the Empire, and then just becomes a very old clone, and he's fighting amongst the stormtroopers, and he's like highly respected. I believe, and he's wearing like an orange shoulder guard, which is an insignia of him being like a.
Where are you
I
getting that
think it's
from? Where are you getting that
Legends.
from?
I think I'm getting it from Legends. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like I've only read the Zahn trilogy. I've read Darth
It's
Plagueis and Darth
the
Bane. So like
comics.
I
It's the
haven't read a ton
comics,
of
dude.
books.
That's where it's at.
The comics I've only read the Dark Horse Dark
Hmm.
Empire series, and I read a really cool um, Darth Maul graphic novel from back in the old days. I think
Hmm.
also Dark Horse. And I tried getting into the Vader comic, the recent one where he's bleeding the
Oh
crystal and
yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. Uh, and
You weren't
I
feeling it,
wasn't that
really?
into it, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I
dude,
wasn't
I
feeling
love
it that
that one. It's
much.
so sick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool. And
Mark's like,
like
yeah, I didn't like
my
that one. Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, look, it's cool. I just it
Yeah.
wasn't for me, but it
What
was,
didn't you
I
like
mean, I
about it?
read it.
It was just too all over the place.
The uh the the great late John Schnepp gave me Vader Down for
Yeah.
Christmas one year. And I read Vader Down, and Vader Down is really cool.
Yep.
Have you read that one? Yeah, yeah. Vader Down is really cool. Like, actually, Vader Down reminds me a lot of the Vader fan film. Like there's a lot of the Vader fan
Yeah.
film
Yeah.
inside that
Yeah.
comic.
Well, originally the Vader fan film was supposed to be Vader just dropping into a massive field, like a sandstorm almost, and just there are like thousands of rebels around him with tanks and just artillery and everything, and it's just him, and he goes ahead of the clones. And that was actually the first episode. And he goes in and he's like, I forgot his line now. He's like, all I see around me is fear and dead men. And he just like
Nice.
decimates everything in his path and slashes it. It just would have been a fight scene movie, but we went a different direction. And then
Yeah,
actually
fair enough.
then I wanted it to be in the Jedi Temple, and I was like, you know what? Sidious sends Vader back to the Jedi Temple, and just like in the Rise of Darth Vader book, and he's like, you know, Vader, you have to go collect a holocron, and in there is where he would have found Master Windu.
Yeah, I mean, look, to answer your question, like the Doctor Afra thing, I thought was kind of cool in the Vader comic. Um, like I didn't love that one Jedi he fights in the middle of nowhere to take his
Oh, Kira
crystal.
Confila.
Like it's yeah, just like there was a lot of it that I
Yeah,
just wasn't
yeah, yeah.
feeling. It's cool to read anything about Darth Vader. That's my favorite
Right, like
character
what
of
I
all
was saying.
time.
So anything with these
Uh,
characters is going to be cool, pretty much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not mind blowing. Like I thought Vader Down was like
Mm-hmm.
more
Yeah.
complete. But
Well,
anyway, that's
Dark
just my
Horse,
opinion.
you know, their comics had a way darker undertone to everything. I feel like
Yeah.
than
Was Vader Down Dark
I
Horse?
don't think so. I think that's
I don't
canon. I
think
think
so.
that's Marvel. But all Dark Horse comics have a
Yeah, yeah, I
very
think it's
dark
Marvel.
theme to them, and that's what I enjoyed because it's not happy-go-lucky stuff all that much. It's cool.
Yeah. There's actually a really good graphic novelization of the Zahn trilogy. That it's actually really,
Really?
really, really well done. And I think it's Dark Horse also. But yeah, if you haven't read the Zahn trilogy in a long time, the graphic
Why did
novel
they
of
let
all
Dark
three
Horse?
is
Oh, okay.
actually
Oh, no,
really
no, no,
good.
no, no, because it's Disney now, and Disney owns Marvel, and so okay, yeah. All right. I was like, why
Yeah,
would they
yeah,
let
yeah,
Dark
yeah,
Horse go? That makes more sense. Okay, right.
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah,
More
we got
super
more.
chats.
Um, do you know if Luke saw? We did. Do you think the last four episodes could be a trial run for a Filoni live-action movie with the way they're doing it, with the movie intro music, etc.? No, man. I think Dave Filoni's earned his right to make a movie. Um, it's just, I guess, if he's up to the challenge. I mean, he's working on the Mando, so obviously he can do it. Him and John Favreau. Seriously, I wish they would just be the head of Lucasfilm because they do really good work. What is your favorite, or at least just give them full creative control. What is your favorite Clone Wars arc?
I
Yeah,
think
that'd
they
be
might.
great. That's where it needs to go.
My favorite my favorite Clone Wars arc is definitely the I love the Asajj Ventress Count
Hmm.
Dooku betrayal. Which leads into Savage Opress and
Yeah,
Darth Maul. All those two storylines are
yeah,
kind of intertwined. I think that's probably my favorite. I love that episode where Asajj Ventress and Obi-Wan Kenobi kind
yeah. That
of
was
team
cool.
up like a
Yeah,
buddy cop, like a
yeah.
buddy cop movie, and like there's this one great line where she's like, um, Obi-Wan asks her, he's like, something about like because he runs away and she's like, why are you running away? And he's like, oh, because I learned from the best.
Yeah.
And like they have like this really great relationship,
Yeah, they
Asajj
have a
and
bit of a
Obi-Wan,
romantic
and
relationship
like,
almost, it feels like. Like there's some tension there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little tension there, there's a
Yeah.
little sympathy. Yeah,
Little
he's a little
simpy.
simped out over
Yo,
her and stuff.
Obi-Wan just getting killed in this podcast right now. Getting killed in the Clone Wars
Yeah,
and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, mine's probably
yeah,
more
but
the Mortis arc. I thought that one was really interesting.
yeah, yeah, I like the look, I like the finale arc too, like with the Yoda and Cypher Diaz
Yeah.
and the Wills and all that
That one
stuff.
was heavy.
That's really cool.
That one was cool.
Yeah, I mean the Clone Wars is awesome, and a lot of people crap all over season one. I like the whole Count Dooku arc in season one. I thought
Yeah, it
that
was
was
cool.
awesome with Count Dooku getting
It's a
captured and
little
everything.
unbelievable, but yeah. Yeah.
But it's cool,
Yeah.
like to this day I've never seen the Clone Wars movie.
I think I have a long time ago, and it's kind of just everything compiled into an hour and a bit.
He killed Simplings.
Not just the men, but the I can't even do it. Not just the
But the
simps,
Simps.
but the simpwin and
Yeah.
simpmen and the simplings too.
There's there's footage of him killing Simplings.
Thoughts on the Rebels cameos in the Clone Wars episodes? Says James. Well, you know Rebels better than I do, Mark.
What's the
Thoughts on
question?
the Rebels cameos in the Clone Wars episodes?
The Rebels cameos. I'm not sure I'm following.
I don't remember seeing any Rebels cameos.
I mean, there's Clone
I
War
think one of the
cameos in the Rebel.
Mandalorians with Bo is Satine's mother, or no, not Satine's mother. Sabine's mother. I think maybe that's it, but I don't know. What do you guys think in chat?
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Maul versus
I don't.
Starkiller. Who wins? Starkiller. Get Hayden, please. Sure. Qui-Gon simp. Bottom line, I love Star Wars, and may the Force be with you all. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you dropping in.
Hold on, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. You think Starkiller beats
Yeah,
Maul? Why?
it's Starkiller.
I mean,
Maul lost to
but
Obi-Wan.
okay. Yeah, but that's like saying who wins, Starkiller or that punk kid
Broom Boy.
from Fallen Order. No, from Fallen Order.
Starkiller.
I mean, but the kid from Fallen Order is pretty
The
powerful
kid from
too.
Fallen Order would get crushed like an ant.
All right, tell me why. Tell me why. I want to hear
Starkiller
this.
freaking beats Vader. He beats Palpatine. Like, come on. What?
And then what happens to Starkiller? How does
Well,
he
he dies
die?
in the first one, and then they clone him, and he comes back in the second one. Right? He was Galen Merrick, and then he comes back as Starkiller.
Right, but he's defeated in the first one, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he held up a really good fight. He beat Vader.
Right. So does the kid. So does the kid in.
The Cal Kestis
So does the
gets
kid in
crushed
Fallen
by
Order.
Vader. You can't even come near him.
Right, he runs away from
He
Vader.
simps out.
Spoilers.
Because the game's
warning.
been out for a year. Whatever.
Yeah. Spoiler warning. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, fine. I don't know, man. I think Darth Maul would give Starkiller a run for his money, dude.
Sure.
Starkiller seemed like somebody was always watching his like always had his back.
Dude, Starkiller would
You know,
just
like
destroy pretty much anybody. I don't know. What do you guys think? Starkiller or Maul? Type 1 for Maul, Type 2 for Starkiller. We'll see what they say. What up, Darth Wick? The Italian Stallion. Most excited I've ever been about Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith came out in 05. I was more interested in those 25 minutes than I ever was for 7, 8, and 9. Dave Filoni gets it. I was too. You know what? That's very interesting. 25
Right.
minutes of the episode, not including, the credits. There's 29 minutes, I guess. And I was
Yeah.
more invested in that than I was,
Some guy killed it. I think it might be the new best one, Sim Killer,
no, that's pretty good. That's
instead
pretty
of
good.
Star Killer.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah. And look, we're getting a lot of malls. We're getting a lot of
A
malls.
ton of malls, yeah.
Yeah. I think mall
No,
too,
no,
man.
Maul was
Like
number 2.
right. So we're getting a
Oh,
lot of
we're getting,
malls.
yeah,
People saying
yeah.
mall
That's weird.
over Sim Killer. Yeah, more. I see more twos than
So what's
ones.
Simp and Mall? Small?
Simp mall.
Darth Dula says happy 420. Oh, right, right. Sequel trilogy is Star Trek with a Star Wars skin. Ooh. I don't know about that.
I love
Yeah, I
Star
love
Trek.
Star
I
Trek too.
love Star Trek, man.
Off topic, but when will the
So
Star
don't.
Wars Theory Discord be back up? I miss seeing all the great Star Wars memes with the circumstances. I understand if you don't know. I don't think it'll ever be back up. And if you know why, you know why. For me, it's the lightsabers. Luke's lightsaber, I want that. Darth Maul's blubber bladed red lightsaber, I want that. Dooku's Makashi one, I want that. I want 2. Yeah, well, the lightsaber, yeah, we didn't really get any cool lightsabers in the sequel trilogy. We got like
I
Kylo's.
mean, we got
Yeah,
Kylo's.
yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have done so much more. Rex goes off on his own and then eventually joins the rebels with Commander Wolf and someone else. This is why you should watch the series. Yeah, I should watch the series. Well, I know that. Story. I really like when Qui-Gon almost turned to the dark side. I thought that was really cool. Do you remember that one?
I lost you there. I lost you there for like 30
Oh,
seconds.
okay. Okay. Your favorite Legends story?
My favorite legend story, um, meaning non-canon,
Yeah, Legends.
Darth Revan. Darth Revan going off, having no memory of who he is, and kind of relearning his entire teaching as a Jedi again, only to realize that he was the Jedi or the Sith Lord that he was actually trying to hunt down this whole time.
Right.
I far the coolest story in Legends. The idea of a story where it's kind of very usual suspects
Mm-hmm.
style, where the entire time he's hunting an evil force that is so mysterious, only to realize that it's actually him that he's hunting down. And then at that point, he makes the decision: Am I going to become like what's my destiny, to continue being this
Yeah.
thing or to destroy it? To me, yeah, the Darth Revan story is my favorite
Well,
legend story.
Revan's canon now, so I guess we might be getting that in canon. Yeah,
Is
I think
he?
so. Well, yeah, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
that's
and then we got his,
in Clone
yeah, and we
Wars.
got his
In
lightsaber
Clone
coming
Wars, just
back,
yeah.
and we don't see him in Clone Wars.
You
We see
see
Bane in Clone Wars.
Bane. That's
Um,
right. That's right. So where do you see Revan? So Revan was supposed to be in Clone Wars, and then they
yeah,
didn't
they
include
didn't.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
But where do you see Revan now, though?
Well, they made the lightsaber, so that's kind of an indication. Hasbro did. They're making that, and it's got like a removable blade and all that. But also, um, what the heck? Also, remember Luke's pendant that he was wearing? He was wearing like a Sith red crystal. So a lot of people are saying that's from the visual dictionary, it's like a Sith Crusader, pendant, crystal, and that aligns with Revan's story. And there's also something else about Revan being canon. I just can't remember it now. I don't know.
I think the closest thing I've ever heard about him being canon is the stuff in Clone Wars, that he almost made it to that same episode that Bane shows up
Right,
in.
and he never did. Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in there now. I just know that for sure. Anyways, mine would have to be when Qui-Gon was just about to turn to the dark side when they killed his girlfriend, Tall, some assassin guy, and then Maul
Huh.
or then Qui-Gon just like spends days in the desert, just like going crazy and like wanting to turn evil, and Obi-Wan corrals him, and her voice through the Force corrals him. So in theory, if that's really her voice and he wasn't hallucinating, then she was one of the first to, in Legends at least, to be a Force ghost.
Have you ever played Knights of the Old
Yeah,
Republic?
when I was a little kid.
Oh,
I
okay,
remember when I
okay.
was
Yeah, yeah,
becoming a
because
Jedi
that's
and I was like getting my lightsaber, I was like dancing around, going crazy.
yeah, yeah. It's a cool game. It's a really cool game.
We all know the winner between Maul and Starkiller is Sam Witwer. Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully we'll
yeah.
get him back.
Actually, that's cool that he plays both of
He
them.
plays like everybody. He plays the son of
Yeah, yeah,
Mortis.
but
Have you noticed that he plays all like the super powerful characters? Yeah, it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. That would be a great episode to actually have Sam tell us who would win between Maul and
Yeah, maybe
Starkiller.
when next time when he comes back. Darth Dula says Marc is high. I don't think so, man.
I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
Marc doesn't do that.
I'd say it
Yeah.
if I was.
Mr. Meme says Revan was a total badass. He should be in an old Republic movie if they make one, which they should. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're gonna be getting High Republic, so
Oh God, space
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 Vikings. Yeah,
Vikings. I can't wait for that.
maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know.
I'm just look at the end of the day, it's not for me because I don't read those rom com or those like teeny rom
Well, no, I think it's gonna
novels.
be made into a movie, right? Like they're gonna start.
What, the High
Yeah,
Republic? Is it?
probably.
I thought it was just a series of novels.
Yeah, it's like novels, comics,
No.
and things like that. But it's gonna.
Yeah, it's not a movie. It's not a movie. I trust me. I got reporters that are 24/7 looking into that stuff. There's been no indication that High
I think
Republic is
eventually. I
by
think
any
eventually it'll get turned into a movie. No.
maybe, but there's no plan for that.
Then what's all the
Right now,
hype?
the only plan is for there is no hype. There's like teen romantic novels,
That's it.
a couple of comic books, and like a
Yeah,
few
but I
novels.
know
Yeah,
that, but I thought the plan was to turn this into a movie, like a series.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. There is supposedly a movie in development where they found a writer and like they've been talking to different directors, and nobody knows what that's about.
Hmm.
Like nobody has any idea because like at first like they had those like Benioff and Weiss guys from Game of
Yeah, but then
Thrones,
let them go.
and then
Yeah.
they or I think they quit.
Probably because they didn't have enough creative control.
Yeah, they were like, I'm out of
Yeah.
here, dude.
Yeah.
I got enough of a nightmare with my
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones
Yeah.
stuff. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Huge Game of Thrones fan. Yeah, I love it.
Huge.
It
It's
was the
awesome.
best
Awesome.
show until season 8. They botched it.
The season A simp out on
Oh, they
you?
destroyed it. No,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it was the
yeah. It was
opposite of
rough.
simping out. Like Jon Snow is the opposite of a simp, man. He was simpy for like a few seasons,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but then at the end,
He
my
got
boy
simp.
pulled through. He did the opposite of a Kylo. You know, he saved himself and killed the girl who was just destroying the world. And then, but Kylo, killed himself to save Rey when he didn't need to. Really, he could have just gone on.
Yeah, the next movie is not High Republic, dude. It's not. It
No,
can't be. It
not the
can't be.
next one, but maybe they're going to be turning that into something. Well, then what's the next movie going to be about?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the next movie is going to be about. I think one of the big rumors that I've heard, and I think they'd be smart to do it, is young Yoda. I've heard that get thrown around a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, look how invested people are
And
in Yoda. So, right. Tyler makes a good point. Darth Revan has a Sith Legion name after him, and I didn't remember this. So, in the visual dictionary for Episode 9, the Sith Legions for the Red Troopers have different Legion names, and a lot of them are legends, uh, Dark Lords. So one of them is like Endidu. Do you know about Darth Endidu?
mm,
He's like
I've heard of that.
it's cool, and one of them is Revan. That's how it's canon now. That's how it's canon. So in the visual, thank you, Tyler, for reminding me. And then there are a few other names, and one of them was I forgot the name of her, but it was the Jedi from Force Unleashed 2 who fought Starkiller.
Darth
No,
Nihilus.
it wasn't Nihilus.
No. I'm sorry. Nihilus is Knights of the Old
Yeah,
Republic too.
no, it was a different name. I got the book in the other room, but anyways, so that makes me wonder if that Jedi is now canon as well, and that means that Starkiller is going to be canon. I don't know. It'd be pretty neat. They were going to bring Starkiller in Clone Wars as well, supposedly.
Oh, really?
Supposedly, yeah.
That would
Yeah, it
have
would
been
have been cool.
fun.
When Mandalorian documentary series premiere? The documentary? I don't know, but I know it comes out in October.
Oh yeah. There's a big documentary on Disney Plus about the making of the
Yeah, because
Mandalorian.
it's so revolutionary, right?
Yeah. Suppose it's like a six part. It's like a six-part
That's
doc.
cool.
They say it's really
I'm
good.
down with
Yeah.
that. Darth Simpus the Wise. Soul Skywalker. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. Well, we've been streaming
So
for an hour now.
yeah, we did it. We did
Yeah.
it, man. Another
Another hour
hour
just chilling with you guys. I know.
yeah, man.
Times are dry right now. There isn't too much to talk about, but we're doing our best to keep you guys entertained and just, talk with you all and chill with you all, and if we can get, guests that come in through Skype or, FaceTime, we'll do it. But
Yeah, and I really liked this last episode, man. I can't wait
yeah,
for
we're
this
gonna have
Friday.
tons of stuff to talk about next week. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, thank God we have this
Yeah.
right
We
now.
should even also maybe do like a rule of two aftermath show for Fridays or Saturdays as well, where we just talk about only Clone War stuff.
Mm.
We could do like a second episode. Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah. And look, and maybe we'll stream later tonight. Do some plunder.
What do you mean later tonight? We're gonna do that right now. That's why I want to end the stream.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Uh,
Well, dude,
let me
thanks to
let
the
me see if
chat,
I got
man.
through all super chats here. Don't want to leave anyone hanging. Third Man says, how can Mando or any of the Mandalorians not know about the Jedi Order after living through the Clone Wars? A huge part of Mando history and Darksaber involves wars with the Jedi. That's true, but maybe all of the Mandos now at that time are foundlings, so that's maybe the Jedi didn't go to Mandalore after that, but then they would have been part of the Empire. That's interesting, yeah. I
No,
don't know.
look, it's a very good point. There's some huge disconnects between the sequels and the way that the prequels deal with the
Yeah,
Jedi. Like this whole idea that the Jedi are this myth and like nobody even knows if they're true, like that doesn't really translate to the amount of war that happens in the
maybe
prequel
the
era.
Mando
You
got
know?
mind wiped. Do you think episode 7 and 9 could be set in an alternate universe? Maybe.
I hope so,
Darksaber
dude.
progression: Pre Vizsla, Maul, Sabine, Bo-Katan, Moff Gideon. In Mando, they mentioned Gideon is there during the purge of Mandalore. Right. So
So maybe we will. Oh, maybe we will
in
see
episode
him.
12, if they go into that,
Yeah,
if they go into Order 66, then we're gonna see the purge of Mandalore. Maybe it'd be cool. Cool to throw that in there.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Once I saw that Lucasfilm Limited. So to be honest, when I first watched the episode and I saw Lucasfilm Limited, I actually backed out of my Disney Plus because I thought I had like picked the wrong video. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Like I thought that I had picked the Clone Wars
Oh,
movie
really?
because I thought maybe the Clone Wars movie had
Yeah.
that. And I was like, well, wait a minute, something's
Yeah. It looks
wrong.
old school.
And then
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. John says, I love your work, guys. Keep it up. When they cut to the newly animated Grievous, I freaked out. I need to see him
He
cut
looked
down
great.
some fools. Looked horrifying. Yeah, he looked really good. He looked
Yeah, he
really
looked
sweet.
great. I mean, he's only there for like a split
Literally
second.
just a second, yeah.
Yeah, but it looked
He looked
awesome.
cooler than the movie.
Yeah, he looked
Yeah,
great,
badass.
dude. It was awesome. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
the simp unleashed. Someone needs to Photoshop that into all the new movies. What's your best episode of the Clone Wars? I love all the content. Super excited for Vader episode 2. Will you ever have any of us on the podcast? I'd love to talk Star Wars with you guys. We could eventually, potentially get callers and stuff like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so on Rule of Two back in the day, we used to do
Yeah.
callers, and it was actually a lot. It's a lot of fun to
Yeah.
take calls.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be something we could look into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love all the content. Super excited. Okay, right. If they're gonna do a movie about Vader, they destroyed Anakin and Vader. Star Wars is about him. Yeah, it's about the Chosen One. I mean, at least the Skywalker saga is. Soul Skywalker.
Oh, speaking of the Chosen One, happy birthday to Hayden
Happy
Christensen.
birthday to Hayden yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
old is he
happy
now?
birthday, Hayden.
Is he 39?
It's probably like in his late 30s, huh?
37?
Yeah, I don't know, but happy birthday,
Yeah.
buddy. One day we'll stalk you at the farm.
Yeah, right. You'll be going out to get some milk, and we'll be like, Hayden, get on the podcast. Come on. He'll be like, sure, guys.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No. I've been rewatching a lot of. We got to catch him at a con or something, and maybe one of your guys can get in touch with his his PR person. I don't know.
You underestimate my fences.
He's got these like massive walls that just go up.
Yeah.
You underestimate my power. I've been rewatching a lot of your what if videos about Anakin, and I've always thought about what if you or someone could make a film or something about if Anakin never turned with Hayden and Natalie. Yeah, we get sued. I don't think that would ever happen. It would be millions of dollars. Anyways, but that would be cool.
Yeah.
There's a fan fiction I do want to make though, and I'm gonna make it soon. It's what if Anakin went to Mandalore with Ahsoka? Someone's gonna try and steal that topic now if they haven't thought of it. Oh, great. Whatever.
Oh well, it's not about the idea; it's about the execution, right? Yeah. So look on that note.
On that note, we're gonna go play on the gaming channel. Be sure to join us, and we'll see you guys next week. Hope you enjoy this coming episode, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. With that being said, always remember, rise, my friends.